So here's an overview of what today's business programs info session is going to look like. So Lisa Park and Amy Dirksen, they are instructors in our business program, and they are with me and will be the ones to provide more information on the program. I'm going to jump back in again at the end and chat more about student supports, how to apply, and then we'll wrap up with a Q&A session. So starting us off, our business programs are offered here at our Victoria Avenue East campus in Brandon. So this location is home to about half of Assiniboine students. Here you're going to find our campus gymnasium, bookstore. We have an early learning center at this campus, lots of spaces for students to work and relax, and many interactive classrooms and labs. Our business administration program is also offered at our Parkland campus in Dauphin, Manitoba. So we also have an early learning center here, as well as a student success advisor who can support you through your studies. So this is a great option for those living within the Parkland and surrounding areas, so they're able to complete their studies a little bit closer to home. So I'm now going to pass things over to Lisa Park, and she's going to get us started here.
So I'm going to start off just by talking a little bit about the two types of diploma programs. We have a 2-year diploma program as well as what we call advanced diploma program. So first I'm going to address the 2-year diploma. If you're just graduating from high school, you've never done any post-secondary education, then this is probably the route that you're going to want to take. The 2-year diploma programs in Brandon will start September, January, and May. In Dauphin, there's just one intake a year in September. In the business administration 2-year program, all students take a common set of courses in the first year. These are sort of meant to give you a grounding in all different areas of business. So you'll be taking things like economics, human resources, some math courses, some accounting, as well as some courses that really try to teach employability skills. So courses like personal management, communications, and some software courses. Students, when they're done their first year, or as they're getting towards the end of their first year, they select a specialization for their second year and in the program. So the 4 areas of specialization are accounting, financial services, human resource management, that's my area, and marketing, which is Amy's area. So when we talk about the Dauphin campus, so those are the 4 specializations that we offer here at the Brandon campus. In Dauphin, accounting and human resource management are available. These are designed to be a launching pad for students. So, you might go straight from taking one of these programs out into the workforce, or you might take it as sort of a first step in your post-secondary journey. So it can lead you into maybe a university degree program, or maybe you want to do one of the business advanced diplomas to sort of round out your knowledge. So we'll talk about those next. The business advanced diploma programs, this is a fairly new thing. We've been doing this for about 3 years now. These are 8-month programs, and they're really designed for students who already have some post-secondary education under their belts. So in order to qualify for one of these programs, you have to have already completed a 2-year diploma or a 3 or 4-year university degree to get into one of these programs. The intake is just once a year. They start in September. They're designed to be full-time programs, but students can sometimes take them part-time. They're still most of the courses are still during the day, during the week. So a lot of students will just do it full-time. There's 10 courses or 60 credit hours that students need to complete in order to get one of these diplomas. And they're really well suited for people who maybe have already been out in the workforce for a while and they just want to hone their skills in one of these areas. Or if you have, like I said, studied maybe a general business degree and you want something that's a little bit more directed in one of those areas. All of our business students should be prepared to treat this like a job. If you're a full-time student, I think it's wise for students to plan to put about 40 hours a week into school. You'll be in class for a good chunk of that. And then there will also be reading, homework, assignments, group work, and that sort of thing on top of that. Every program that you take here will involve some math. So like those first year courses, you do have to take math courses. If it's been a while since you've been in school or you've always struggled with math, it might be a good idea to do some work ahead of time before starting classes, take some online tutorials or brush up, bring out your high school math books. There's some great stuff online. I know my kids use something called Khan Academy when they're confused about math. So there's lots of good resources. It's good to be proactive so that you're not struggling once you start the program. Another area where students sometimes struggle is in computer use. So here the slide talks about taking a keyboarding course or an intro to computers class. It's really about digital literacy. A lot of our courses use online platforms. We do a lot of Zoom classes. There's just a lot of, manipulating different types of documents, spreadsheets, recording videos, uploading to different software, like we use Microsoft Office 365. So making sure that you have you're fairly comfortable with some of those different platforms will really help you as you start into a program like this. It's also important to note that all students take some accounting, but it is something that you'll learn throughout the course. You don't have to have previous knowledge of accounting, but it certainly might help if you're in that particular stream. Our programs are really meant to be hands-on, right? One of the taglines that we have is learn by doing. So our students tend to find the programs fairly intense, but also very practical. You're learning things that you would actually be doing on the job. Students should be prepared to do some work independently, but also, and this is sometimes a thorn in people's sides, but there's a lot of group work. The work world, you're going to be working in groups. At the college, you're going to be working in groups. So whether your group work is your favorite thing or your least favorite thing, you will be encountering that here at the college. And whether it goes well or doesn't go well, you're still going to learn from it. So I think that it's really an important component of a post-secondary education. There's some different things that students might get involved in, like Skills Manitoba competitions. I know Amy does a design thinking challenge with students. So there's some really great opportunities for students to enrich their learning and to compete with other students. Even within the programs, there's lots of things like case studies where you're looking at realistic business cases and trying to solve problems. Capstone projects where you might design a recruitment strategy from beginning to end. So there's lots of different exciting projects that you may work on that are very closely related to what you'd be doing in the work world. Next, we're going to talk about the different specializations. I'm going to cover a few of them, and then once we get to marketing, because that's Amy's wheelhouse, I'm going to turn it over to her. So for both the 2-year diplomas and the 8-month advanced diplomas, there are 4 specializations. I mentioned them before, but I'll say again, they are accounting, finance, human resource management, and marketing. In accounting, obviously, you're going to take high-level courses in budgeting, financial management, taxation, accounting software. There's going to be lots of spreadsheets, lots of numbers. Some of those courses are going to transfer into your CPA, so the Chartered Professional Accountant designation, which I think most people who take an accounting diploma are going to want to go ahead and get that designation. It opens doors for you. And then if you are doing the advanced diploma in accounting, you do need to have some prior knowledge of accounting. So maybe you took it in high school, maybe you've been working as a bookkeeper or something like that already in the work world. If you have graduated from the accounting diploma program, you may end up with job titles like accounting clerk, junior accountant, bookkeeper, business or office manager, bank teller, tax preparer. And there's lots of potential employers in the Westman area as well as across Canada. So you might end up working for a Myers Norris Penny. You might work for one of the major banks or credit union. You may work for the federal government, the city of Brandon, a school division. I think even the college here employs 1 or 2 accountants. We have, you might work for a hospital, nonprofit, tribal councils. Really, the list is endless, right? Anybody who deals with money is probably going to have some accountants. The next specialization is finance. So in this program, you would learn about investment funds, corporate finance, personal finance, taxation again, financial planning. So people who study finance might end up selling mutual funds or life insurance. They might help people with financial planning. So planning for retirement, planning to send their kids to school. How are we going to have enough money to pay those tuition? How am I going to retire at the age of 55 or something along those lines? And there are some options. You might work towards your Investment Funds Institute of Canada license or your life license as you work through these programs. So again, there's some real practical benefits where you might get some designations that are going to help you to find a job when you graduate. And again, entry-level accounting knowledge. If you are going into the 8-month advanced diploma, you should have some entry-level accounting knowledge before starting that program. And, the different job titles you might have when you graduate from this would be things like financial planner, loan manager, investment advisor, lending officer, stockbroker. And again, there's quite a range of different kinds of jobs you might hold. And similar to the accounting stream, you might work for a bank or a credit union, or you might work for an insurance agency. There's several here in Brandon, Andrew Agencies, Wawanesa, Guild. You might work for something like IG Wealth, where you're really helping with the financial planning and helping people to invest their money wisely. And now we get into my favorite area, the human resources field. So when you're taking the human resource management stream, you'll be learning about things like labor relations, about staffing, about training and developing employees, about the different laws that govern the human resource field, how to compensate your employees, right? So setting up pay structures that really motivate people. If you have graduated from either the HR Advanced Diploma or the HR 2-year diploma, you may qualify for an exemption from the Chartered Professional in Human Resources National Knowledge Exam. So just like similar to the CPA, human resource managers may work towards a designation called a CPHR, which can help to open doors and a lot of employers really like to see those letters after your name. So our graduates may, if they have the right level of performance during their course and they apply for it within a certain time span, they may be exempt from actually writing the online exam for that designation. Our graduates may work in jobs like human resource advisor, recruitment officer, so somebody who specializes in helping to hire new employees in different firms. They might become training and development consultants. They may become an organizational development officer. There's many titles, and some of them are sort of generalists, and they do a little bit of everything in human resources, and some of them are more specialized in certain HR functions. Just about every industry, many larger companies employ HR specialists. And even if you don't have an HR specialist, you might need a manager who has some decent human resources knowledge. So whether you're in finance or business or working in agriculture or education, you can find human resource people in all of those different areas. Your employers might include anybody pretty much in the industrial sector, commercial, government organizations, public offices like school divisions, post-secondary institutions. My graduates that have kept in touch with me after leaving the program are working at places like Elite Safety, 3% Realty, and the Manitoba Métis Foundation. So, Manitoba Métis Federation. So there's lots of different opportunities across Manitoba for human resource specialists. And I'm going to hand it over to Amy there.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. So I'm going to talk about my favorite, which is marketing, and try to woo you over to this side if you are interested in any of the others. So in the marketing specialization, you're learning about marketing research, marketing communications, which is one of the courses that I teach, international marketing, retail management, personal selling, as well as finance's role in that. Marketing professionals are typically, the face of the company, or I talk a lot to students about the fact that they support those who are the face of the company. You create the promotions for the organization. So you are the ones who are doing the fun stuff and putting together the ads, as an example. Students are eligible for recognition with the International Institute of Marketing Professionals. So much like the other programs that Lisa talked about, there's ways of getting certification in this field as well through this program. So overview of employment, very similar to HR. There's lots of different industries that hire marketing professionals. So not-for-profit organizations or charitable organizations, government. So whether that's education facilities, all different kinds of government departments, municipal, city offices, different kind of specialization or professional services like accounting. There's fields in agriculture, trades, you name it. So myself personally, I have worked in government. I have worked in the not-for-profit sector. I've also worked for cooperatives in addition to private industry. So there's lots of different opportunities out there. There's different ways that you can approach a career. Lots of companies hire marketing and communications professionals in-house. And so that means that they actually have a team. So often these are called specialists or coordinators, and they're responsible for a wide range of jobs under kind of that marketing communications umbrella. So everything from managing social media to helping support HR and recruit really great talent. Another route to this is to actually work for an agency model. And so agencies are those who they have clients. So they support, for example, lots of small businesses use agencies because they outsource for that skill set. So there's lots of different roles. Could be specializing in communications. That could be like corporate communications. So working on annual reports or speech writing. Graphic artists fits into this. This is also where this program complements kind of the IMA program that's also available at ACC. Writing, advertising. I think the digital and video marketing space is just exploding, especially since COVID and all of the companies really moving to that online space. There's also roles in sales, research, and I already talked about social media under that digital umbrella. So another program that's available for advanced diploma only is Indigenous Financial Management. So this is learning the world of business with an Indigenous perspective to help Indigenous organizations manage their finances and plan for the future. So this is focusing on developing skills in business law, financial accounting, reporting, ethics, as well as critical thinking. You would earn standing towards your Certified Aboriginal Financial Manager designation, and it's an entry-level accounting knowledge is required for that for this program in terms of it being an advanced diploma. So potential employers, again, could be anything from accounting firms, banks, credit unions, obviously Indigenous communities or organizations, government, nonprofit, consulting firms. I think that this is an area that we're going to see more and more growth in. So lots of opportunity here for professional development. And then accounting with co-op. So this is advanced diploma only. It's a 12-month advanced diploma. So May to December of 2022 is in class. And then January to May of 2023 is a 16-week co-op. The placements are in rural communities, and it's open to international and domestic students as well. And cooperatives are just a really great way of kind of getting hands-on experience. I think Lisa also spoke to this. So admission requirements, business admission, administration, you need to complete grade 12 diploma, including your English, as well as consumer and essential math. Business advanced diplomas, so students require a 2-year diploma or a degree from a recognized post-secondary institution. Entry-level accounting knowledge is required for that accounting, finance, and Indigenous financial management. Lisa did speak to this as well. Applicants without this knowledge are required to take some other courses, which are listed there. And if English is not your first language, proof of English language proficiency is required. And there's more available information available there. So what makes programs at ACC unique? The opportunity to specialize in 4 different areas. And I think actually even before that, one of the really cool things about this program that I didn't get in my kind of academic background is exposure to all these different areas. So in your first year, you're taking HR courses, regardless of whether or not that's something you want to specialize in. Same thing with finance and accounting, as well as marketing. And so you walk away with a really good kind of general base knowledge of these different areas within business. And I think that that's really valuable. Small class sizes is a big perk. And so you're not walking into a lecture hall with like 200 other people. Most of the classes that I teach are around 25 students. And I think that this lends itself really nicely to making the environment kind of more welcoming in terms of participation. And I know my classes and Lisa's as well, because she shares with me some of the great activities that she does in her classes are really kind of high engagement, lots of workshopping. And so smaller class sizes make that easier to do. You get to work with a variety of instructors who are experts in their professional fields. So you're learning from people who have been out in industry. I myself started instructing just in 2020. And so I was working in industry before that. And so I share a lot of my examples that I talk about are actually taken from my work experience. And then you also get to interact with and learn from business community leaders. In my classes, I know I have lots of guest speakers, and students really like them for this exact reason. They get to meet leaders within our community and within different business industries and hear from them firsthand what their worlds are like. So future study options, you can transfer to a university degree program through course by course evaluation by the finishing institution, or negotiated articulation agreements. And so what that means is ACC has worked with other post-secondary institutions like Brandon University, where you can do kind of a 2+2 model where you do 2 years at ACC and then you take those and move it towards a degree that you would complete at Brandon University. You can also specialize in another area through an advanced diploma program as well. And then last but not least, ACC has a relatively new MBA program. So this is an agreement with Cape Breton University for their MBA in Community Economic Development. The next intake is to be determined. It consists of 15 3-credit courses plus an applied research project. Each course is offered over 2 or 3 weekends, so Friday evening, Saturday all day, and then Sunday morning. And it's offered at our Victoria Avenue East campus in Brandon. Courses can also be taken through Cape Breton University's Sydney campus in July as well. And I think I'm passing it off to Larissa now.
You are, yes, I'll take the baton from here. Thank you so much, Amy, and Lisa before Amy. So moving on to chat more about student support. So we know attending college is a big transition. So we want to make sure that you feel supported when you are with us at Assiniboine. So we have student success advisors for every single one of our programs. So they are there to help you with that transition to college, make career plans, and just keep you on track for success. And in addition to our program specific SSAs, we also have an Indigenous student success advisor, a mental health advisor, and an international advisor. When it comes to financial advising, we have staff at the college who can help you figure out all the ways to fund your post-secondary. So we do offer a financial aid and awards info session for domestic students, and I highly recommend attending if you're going to be paying your way through college. And I'll chat a little bit more about our other info sessions in a few slides. With our accessibility and disability services. So if you had support throughout high school or afterwards for a physical, learning, mental health, hearing, vision need, anything along those lines, reach out to us as soon as possible so that we can connect you to your SSA and set the right supports in place for you. We offer academic related support through our learning curve. So the staff there, they provide support, everything from study skills, efficient note taking, time management, math and English support, mindfulness, assistive technologies, and accessible workspaces on campus. Our libraries also have a number of resources for you and your assignments, but the staff are also a big asset to you. They're there to help you if you need it as well. And of course, there's lots of quiet study areas for you to concentrate. If you need some help getting settled, we can provide you with more information on getting a locker, meal cards for our cafeterias, fitness center access, parking or bus pass. So all of our students are entitled to a free Brandon Transit bus pass through our Students Association. Childcare, so as I mentioned earlier, we do have early learning centers at both our Victoria Avenue East and Parkland campuses, with priority going to Assiniboine staff and students in need of care, as well as housing. So we can help with finding a place to live. So we have renters lists available. We have a partnership with placesforstudents.com that lists housing options for our students. As well, Brandon University does house some of our students in their residence as well. So if you're going to be moving to Brandon, that's certainly an option for you as well. There are lots of people at the college whose jobs are to provide support and guidance to students, though. So always know that there are lots of us here to help you make sure you're staying successful at all times. So we've broken down the application process for you into 3 steps. So step 1 is choose your program. So we don't offer many general courses that you can just take here and there from the program. We don't have a general year 1 program like a lot of universities do, and you can't take more than 1 full-time program at a time. So you're applying for a specific career-related program. So you really do have to choose your program first. You're already working on this step right now just by being here and learning more about the program. So that's great. We do also have information on our program web pages. So if you haven't accessed those just yet, you can do so at assiniboine.net/programs. If you have questions about those admission requirements, you can always reach out to our admissions team. Their email is there on the screen. If you're still unsure, you just want to talk things through with someone, that's also exactly what we're here for in recruitment. So you can always reach us at recruit@assiniboine.net. So step 2, you've decided you are ready to apply to a business program at Assiniboine, and now it's time to apply. So these programs accept applicants on a first come, first served basis, and you can apply within 1 year in advance of its start date. We don't have any application deadline, so as long as you apply before the program start date while meeting those admission requirements, that's fine. Just know that many of our programs do fill, so we always encourage early application to ensure that, that you avoid seeing a wait list. Another great reason to apply early is that we also have some automatic awards for domestic students. So if you apply to your program by March 15th, your transcript will be automatically assessed, and you could be eligible for some really great automatic awards. So once you are ready to apply, you can go to our website listed there to get started, assiniboine.net/apply. We have our online application system, so you can fill out the application form online and upload any of your required items online as well. So transcript, permanent resident card if necessary, and the $95 application fee can be paid online as well. Step 3, so after you've submitted all the required documentation, now you sit back and wait to hear from us. So if you've missed something with your application, our admissions team will let you know. If you meet all the admission requirements and there's still space in the program, you will be sent an acceptance letter. After that, you'll be asked to submit a $400 deposit towards your tuition. So this is not additional cost, it goes towards your tuition, and that's to save your spot in the program and guarantees that you're in for that next intake. These are not competitive entry programs, so you don't have to worry about that last point there if you're going to be applying to one of these programs. So as I mentioned earlier, we're fortunate today to have Paige Damon. She's our international coordinator with us today, and she is going to go through those 3 steps pertaining to international students.
Awesome. Thanks, Larissa. Hello, everyone. So step 1 is very similar for our international students. It's really important that you pick a program that you are interested in, especially when you're applying for that visa. It's good to know that it's something related to what your long-term goals are. And if you're unsure if you meet those admission requirements, you can definitely contact International specifically at international@assiniboine.net before you apply. We don't do pre-assessments, but we can at least let you know if you are on the right track. For step 2, so you will apply online. Also, we do have assiniboine.net apply international, so you can check out our international application form. And there's a few extra things you may need to include for us. So there, as I mentioned, the application form, and then it is a $200 application fee for international students. So that needs to be paid. You can do so online, or if you have somebody in Brandon that wants to come in for you, they can do that as well. We will still require your official transcripts. So these will be your high school transcripts. And if you've attended any post-secondary institutions, we'll need to see both of those. If your transcripts are not in English, we will require official English translations. You don't necessarily need to get a WES certification done or anything like that. You can always reach out to us if you have more questions regarding the transcripts. And then, as Larissa mentioned, these aren't competitive entry programs, so no need to worry about that last point. You will also need to include your English language proficiency. So unless you're from a test exempt country, which that list can be found on our website, assiniboine.net/ELP, you would need to provide English language testing. So whether that's the IELTS, TOEFL, CALE, CAN test, or PTE, we accept all of those. We require an IELTS 6.5 with no subscore lower than 6.0 for business administration. And for our advanced diplomas, we require a 6.0 IELTS with no score lower than 5.5. So that is the IELTS academic or the equivalent in one of the other tests I mentioned previously. For step 3, sit back and relax and wait to hear from us. Same with domestic students. If you are missing anything, we will reach out to you and let you know. So if you meet the admission requirements and there's a space available in the program, you will receive your letter of acceptance, which then you would use that to apply for your study permit. So the tuition deposit for our base programs is going to be $1,500 Canadian for international students. This is non-refundable and non-transferable. However, if your study permit is denied by IRCC and you provide us with the refusal letter by the date listed on your letter of acceptance, we can provide you with a refund less $100 processing fee of that tuition deposit. So if you're not denied and you change your mind, unfortunately, it is non-refundable. But if your study permit is denied, that is beyond your control, and that is when that would be refundable. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you, Paige. As I mentioned, we do have some other info session offerings at this time. So we do have that financial aid and awards session for domestic students. So that's all about Manitoba Student Aid, scholarships and bursaries, and how to apply. Again, I highly recommend attending if you are going to be paying your own way through post-secondary. We do have an Assiniboine International session that is led by Paige. So she chats about all the important information for prospective international students interested in studying at Assiniboine. And then like this one, we have various other program-specific info sessions. So you can view the full list and their schedules at assiniboine.net/info session, and we will be looking to schedule more sessions in the new year. We also have an Experience Assiniboine webpage, which is a really great resource for you to find links to everything I've talked about today and more in one place. So this webpage will link you to our info sessions, requesting a customized mail package, career quiz, virtual campus tours, and much more. So certainly check that webpage out after today. So if you'd like to chat more with us after today, here's how you can connect to us in recruitment. If you email us at recruit@assiniboine.net, we can send you more information electronically. We can send you your admission requirements, link you to the online application, just overall help you figure out your next steps or connect you to someone else at the college if necessary. So we're happy to provide you with more information at any time. So don't ever hesitate to reach out if you have questions or need some help.